Russell Dunham was an American World War II veteran and recipient of the Medal of Honor. On January 8, 1945, as a member of Company I, 30th Infantry, 3D Infantry Division, Dunham eliminated 3 German machine gun nests despite being injured himself. Dunham was a platoon leader in his unit. Dunham's unit became pinned down at the base of snow-covered Hill 616, a steep hill in Alsace-Lorraine near Kaisersberg, France, on January 8, 1945. With machine gun fire coming down the hill in front of their unit, and a heavy artillery barrage landing behind them, Dunham decided the only way to go was up point 5 using a white mattress cover as a camouflage aid against the backdrop of the snow. Dunham began moving up the hill. He carried with him a dozen hand grenades and a dozen magazines for his M1 carbine. Dunham began crawling more than 100 yards 91 m to the first machine gun nest under fire from 2 machine guns and supporting riflemen. When 10 yards 9 m from the nest, he jumped up to assault the nest and was hit by a bullet which caused him to tumble 15 yards 14 m downhill. He got back up and charged the nest firing his carbine as he went, and kicked aside an egg grenade that had landed at his feet. Prior to reaching the nest, he tossed a hand grenade into the nest. When he got to the nest, he killed the machine gunner and his assistant. His carbine then jammed, and he jumped into the machine gun emplacement. He threw a 3rd German in the nest down the hill who was later captured by his unit. With his carbine jammed, he picked up another carbine from a wounded soldier and advanced on the 2nd nest, 50 yards 46 m away. As he came within 25 yards 23 m of the nest, he lobbed 2 hand grenades into the nest, wiping it out. He followed this up by firing down foxholes used in support of the nest. He then began his slow advance on the 3rd nest, 65 yards 59 m up the hill. He made his advance on the 3rd nest under heavy automatic fire and grenades. As he came within 15 yards 14 m of the nest, he tossed more grenades and wiped out the last nest, barely being missed at point-blank range by a German rifleman. During the action, Dunham killed 9 Germans, wounded 7 and captured 2 on his own. Nearly 30 other Germans were captured as a result of his actions. When Dunham was presented with the Medal of Honor, General Alexander Patch said as he placed the award around Dunham's neck that his actions in single-handedly destroying the machine gun nests saved the lives of 120 U.S. soldiers who had been pinned down. For his injuries on that day, Dunham also received the Purple Heart. Shrapnel from his injuries remained in his body for the rest of his life, and Dunham was quoted as saying, "The shrapnel in my leg is a reminder of the war we fought." Dunham returned to the front before his wounds healed. On January 22 his battalion was surrounded by tanks, forcing most of the men to surrender. The following morning, 2 German soldiers discovered Dunham hiding in a sauerkraut barrel outside a barn. When their search of his pockets turned up a pack of cigarettes, they fought over it, overlooking his pistol in a shoulder holster. Later that day as he was being transported toward German lines, the driver stopped in a bar, giving Dunham the opportunity to shoot his other captor in the head and set off toward the American lines. Dunham suffered severe frostbite while completing his escape. Dunham and his wife Wilda lived on a small farm near Jerseyville, Illinois for over 30 years. He regularly attended a variety of functions related to honoring Medal of Honor recipients. Dunham erected a monument at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in honor of those who served with the 3rd Infantry Division. The monument was dedicated on May 20, 2000, and stands near Flagstaff and Rostrum Drive on the cemetery grounds. In his later years he still enjoyed coon hunting.